Hi, Tony from SongWriters Chop Shop here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to match lyrics to your melody. It can be difficult to match a lyric to a melody, especially if they don't start out together. Even if you do get an idea that contains both lyrics and melody, you can still run into plenty of problems as you develop that idea. It will be impossible to cover every possibility and scenario when it comes to matching lyrics and melody, so I'm going to cover the main elements that they have in common. Those elements are pitch and rhythm, but we also need to consider these things in the context of a song because they don't work independently, they interact, so we'll also look at how they work with the rhythm and the harmony underneath them. Let's start with pitch. A musical melody obviously has pitch tones, but words also have what's called a perceived pitch, produced mainly by their vowel sounds. And we're talking about vowel sounds, not just vowels. For example, the vowel A can have many different sounds, like fade, far, flare. The perceived pitch in vowel sounds has been used in poetry for a long time. There's even a chart. So if we say a phrase like "cool birds buy jeeps," we can hear the tone ascending or going up in perceived pitch. A phrase like "she read Roy's book," we can now hear the tones descending in pitch. One of the factors that makes a lyric singable is how much the mouth has to reshape itself to sing a string of words in succession. Let's look at it in a practical sense and see how we can use it as a basic roadmap for matching lyrics and melody. Here's an example from Adele's "Someone Like You." If we take the first line of the lyric, "I've heard that you're settled down," and break it into 3 parts, we get 3 descending motifs.
I heard that you settled down.
The phrase's melodic shape adheres to the vowel scale relative to each motif. So using the vowel scale can hint at a lyric's natural melodic shape, or what relative vowels we could use for an existing melody to make it easy to sing. Remember, this is all relative. I wouldn't suggest letting the vowel scale dictate your melody. Like I said, one of the factors that makes a lyric singable is how much the mouth has to reshape itself. The vowel scale lets us see what vowel sounds blend into each other without having to do a lot of oral gymnastics. Vowels can add a lot of color to lyrics, so the words we choose always work on 2 levels, their intellectual meaning and their emotional sound. Our job as songwriters is to find a balance between them that best conveys the emotion of the song. For example, a narrow range of vowel sounds and a narrow range of musical intervals in a melody can create a conversational tone. You can hear this in a song like the verses for Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson. Longer note lengths in a melody could hint at elongated vowel sounds, and a higher pitched note might hint at a relative higher perceived pitch on the vowel scale. So play around with the vowel scale and try the different vowel sounds with different pitches and intervals in your melody. Also look at the lyrics to your favorite songs and see the relationship of the vocal melody to the perceived vowel pitches. But like everything else in songwriting, this is subjective, so always go with what sounds best to you. Another element that melodies and lyrics have in common is rhythm. Words are made up of stressed syllables and unstressed syllables and produce a natural rhythm. So the rhythm of a lyric like Miley Cyrus's "Wrecking Ball" would look like this. Understanding this can help us maintain the natural shape and rhythm of language, and it also gives us some nice markers when it comes to placing a lyric or a melody on top of its accompanying music. In contemporary melody or top-line writing, rhythm and repetition has become the main player, so understanding melodic rhythm and how to use it properly can have a big impact on how catchy your melody is. A lyric or a melody will have an emotional high point, so we often find the important lyrical words match up with the main beats of the musical bar, the strongest of which are beats 1 and 3, then followed by beats 2 and 4. This can also give us an easy way to create, develop and manage rhythmical motifs, so it's a major player when it comes to bonding a melody to lyrics. I've done a full video about melodic rhythm if you want to learn more. It's linked in the description, but again, check it out in some of your favorite songs. A really good resource for this is the tab section in hooktheory.com, where you can get a clear visual representation while you're listening to the song. Melodies, like lyrics, tell a story. The emotion is created by the melody and the lyrics paint a picture of that feeling. Phrases are basically musical sentences. There's no hard and fast definition of how long they have to be. They could be 2 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars. Like a lyrical line, it's an expression of ideas. The punctuation in a sentence can often help us define a melodic phrase. They traditionally fit into two categories: call or question phrases and response or answer phrases. Call phrases tend to leave the melody unresolved, response phrases tend to find its resolution. That's phrasing at its most basic, but you can mix and match them any way you want. Depending on where the phrases start in a musical bar, it can give us clues to the attitude of the lyrical content. If you listen to Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson, you'll hear the vocal melody starts on the downbeat, the first beat of the bar. It's a confident statement lyric with lots of attitude. If you listen to Someone Like You by Adele, you can hear that the melody starts at the end of a bar. It's a more melancholy and relaxed lyric, but there's tons of possibilities. Listen to Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. The vocal melody starts before the bar, just like Someone Like You, but it has a very different feel because it uses shorter 16th notes, it has a higher tempo, so this depends on all the factors of your song working together and in context. The end of a melodic phrase, like the end of a lyrical line, can give us clues for rhyme. Of course, you can choose whatever rhyme scheme or rhyme types you feel suit the song, but an unresolved call phrase could be a good indicator to rhyme or not to rhyme, or when to use an unresolved rhyme type. If you want to learn more about rhyme types and how they can be used to support the emotional content of your lyric, check out this video linked below. It's common to find chord tones on the strong beats of a musical bar. As I said, beats 1 and 3 are the strongest, and to find non-chord tones on the weaker beats of the bar. The notes that make up a chord are stable tones. The notes in the scale outside the chord are unstable tones. Unstable tones produce that unresolved feeling of wanting to go somewhere more stable. Of course, there's always exceptions, and there's plenty of songs where you can find non-chord tones on the strong beats. It really comes down to what you're trying to achieve, what effect you want to produce, and what sounds right to your ear. But all these elements like note length, stable, unstable tones, phrasing, and a melody's relationship to the chords underneath it can all be analogous to speech, and the best way to understand it is to see how it works in your favorite songs and experiment with it in your writing. Then you can start to understand it in your own terms. And like I said, one of the best ways to match a lyric to a melody is if they start out and develop together. Phonetic singing is a great tool to achieve this. And if you want to learn more about how to use phonetic singing, check out this video next. Catch you next time.